Today we are doing the ultimate ranking of Padmé Amidala's costumes. Are you hyped?
I'm so hyped.
Megan, can you tell the people who you are before we delve into this?
Yeah, hey, I'm Megan. I've been friends with Bianca for a long time. You can see my cat come in and out of the screen. That's Chip. Bianca and I met in college and we bonded immediately over our love of clothing and nerdery and Star Wars later. That was a later thing that we connected on, but that's a big combined love that we have.
You just posted like on Instagram like photos of us at like our first con together, and I'm like, wow, that was 10 plus years ago.
I know. And we really like got to like grow up in costuming together.
We
Like we both
did.
started like at the same time dabbling in it, not really knowing what we we're doing, but like having fun with it.
Yeah, like going to cons and just having fun with like whatever we could afford to like thrift. Like we do craft days. I remember like we would watch like Firefly and do craft days for like steampunk stuff and be like, whatever, just add stuff to it. It'll be fine.
Put a gear on it.
Put a gear on it. Make it brown.
I feel like we were both the same way too. That it was like steampunk was just like a gateway into what we really wanted, which was like cosplay and historical fashion. But that was like a way to get into it, I think. To
Steampunk
find
gave
the
like a ton of
community.
freedom too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it has a lot of similarities to other things where you're right. Like there's community, like there's gonna be conventions, there's gonna be like niche things within it, from like books to crafters to makers. But like there was just so much more freedom around like what you could wear and look like, versus I feel like it's a little bit harder because you want to master a certain look for like certain eras of historical costuming or for certain cosplay things. It's just a little bit like, ugh. So steampunk is a great place to start. Like it's, and like people are really down to help. They can't really judge you as much because it's not like it's going to be like, that's actually not a Pantone that was used.
Yes, that's totally what drew me to steampunk, because my first fashion thing that I got into was Lolita, Gothic Lolita fashion, and they're all about rules and they're all about silhouette and brand and all that jazz. And I've just never been good at following rules and seeing a point to them, but I really like the aesthetic of Lolita. So then when I found steampunk, it was like I could wear frilly dresses, but then people aren't going to get on me about not having the exact silhouette and brands and whatever. And then when I realized I could just wear whatever I wanted and make up my own events, just be like, hey Bianca, let's go play croquet in the park and wear whatever we want.
I'm so excited. I feel like I want to talk about a couple things first, which is, first of all, I want to do this because EK Johnston's Queen's Hope is coming out, and like it's so good, and like I've
So
loved
good.
all of EK Johnston's books, and I think this is the perfect time to be like, let's honor Padmé.
Absolutely. Like since her first book came out, we've been in like a Padmé essence, and I'm just living for it. Between those and then the Darth Vader series, I just watched the YouTube like recap things because I'm too cheap for comics, but I recommend.
It's really good. I kind of save up for like the comic compendiums when they come out. Like I like those a little bit better. I know some people still like the kind of issues, but like
Same.
Totally ready for more Padmé, more Sabe, more all the handmaidens, more all the Naboo shit. So we're gonna do a ranking of all of these things, and I will go over the ranking options that I've set up for us. So it is going to be queen shit, which is like the best of it. We
Top
are
tier.
Yeah, top tier. We are stylish, Your Highness is like, you know, it's almost there. It's almost tops. I have an okay feeling about this, which is like kind of like, like it's fine, not love or hate, but of no confidence. This outfit is just like, nah, it's not great, it's not good, it's not even mediocre. And this is how style dies. It's just, no, it's not good at all. We are not a fan of this. We don't want this. Let's get in to this.
Queen shit,
Okay.
in my opinion.
So first look, it is Padmé Amidala, our introduction to her. I think we can spend a second on this one because this is really important. It is a critical introduction to her. And
I totally agree.
it's queen shit. Like, period.
Absolutely. And like I've only just come to like it more over time. Like I didn't even realize as a kid when it came out that like the bottom part lit up and stuff. Like I didn't even catch that. And the fact that it's like pre-LEDs, so it's like super heavy and there was like batteries inside and
It was like a
whatnot.
car battery or something. Like I feel like the urban legend that might actually be true is that like there was a massive battery under there that was like she couldn't move. So like the images you'd see of her just like standing because she like couldn't move with those lights on.
Wild. And it's just like majestic, so majestic.
I feel like too, this is a really important, like, boom, like this is a different era of Star Wars. Like it is an era of opulence. It's a like again, kind of like this idea of like a Renaissance thing. So many of the costumes that we see in the prequels, I feel like are super inspired by this idea around Renaissance, which is this opulence, which is this detail work that we didn't really get a lot of in the original trilogy. And I think that like totally makes sense. Like you're in an era of like post-war, all of these things. And I do want to say that like there's a lot of educational info out there too about the Mongolian references that have been put into a lot of the costumes that we see on Amidala, which I think is really important that a lot of costumers have been researching and talking about. Erica Alamode, I will link to like all of her resources that she's put out and all of her research that she's shared on that. But that is very much a part of this that I don't want to like ignore, that like a ton of this is also just like when you look at the actual like Mongolian outfits, you're just like, oh, this is literally just taken straight from this. Sometimes like especially her hair.
Yeah.
But Star Wars takes a lot from a lot of things, which is like good and bad, right? So there's the like great that you're being inspired by Art Nouveau, by art movements, but also just like, come on, friends, we don't need to culturally appropriate. That's not
Yeah.
great.
Especially when there's like no Asian people.
Like this would have been a night and day conversation if it had been like a different kind of casting and a different kind of just so many things.
Yeah.
But this is the Star Wars that we have. We hope that it will do better. But yeah, I think that this is a really striking choice, and I feel like for me, reading EK Johnston's work on this, I think is really, really cool because she makes it so it's not just this thing that you do see on screen of like, oh, it's so heavy. We know the actress could move. She makes it canonically a thing that the handmaidens are like so good and so smart and so crafty, and they make it so it's just a jump. Like Padmé essentially has a jumpsuit on underneath these things, and it's a quick release outfit. So like they're all quick release costumes for her. And I love that. I love that it's
Brilliant.
like it's also in all of the books, EK Johnston has set up that these are distraction mechanisms so that no one really sees her face in that way. Like from the makeup to the opulence of her costume, she is meant to look, you know, more concerned with that so they underestimate her and they also don't catch when the handmaidens are subbing in for her. And I think there are a lot of costumes about how for Sansa Stark, fashion was her weapon. And I'm like, yes. And I think for Padmé and her handmaidens, fashion is incontrovertibly their weapon. And this was the introduction that just was like in your face about it. We've moved into now really important handmaiden transition outfit. So I want to ask you first off, did you catch when you were watching the movie the first time?
Absolutely not. I was like 10 or 11 and I remember being like, wait, what?
I feel like I had to watch it like twice to like really catch like the moments that it had happened, and was just like, wait, no, I missed it again. What? No, what?
No, I remember being totally surprised about that. And I love that actually, that I didn't get it. Even though now it feels like, how did I not? But I love that.
I mean, I feel like it says so much about just like that was really smartly done by everybody. And I again like the EK Johnston really heavily like talking about like the hoods and how like the hoods themselves are meant to give this false idea of like these like demure handmaidens, but it's like it shields them so that you don't recognize them, so you don't see them, and also so that your focus is on her and her costume so opulent that you don't even recognize it might not be your queen.
Yeah, I like this black outfit that technically Sabe wears.
Mhm.
It's not in my like top favorites, but I still really like it. And it's got like isn't it the one that has the Naboo symbols on the bottom and stuff?
Yeah. I think that's like for me, I think it's we are stylish, Your Highness. Like
I agree.
it's up there. It's like a little bit like too Victorian morning plus like a bird. Like it reminds me of certain birds, like the little headpiece that like
Yeah.
have a little thing. The ear conches are a little weird for me too. I'm like, it's interesting because like that is a thing for like Star Wars does these little side of the head things. So I'm just like, I do think the handmaiden flame maiden matching up with this outfit is really cool because it's like this really striking, like their own like this fire and then this bird, and it's like a firebird kind of like. So Padme's look technically in this is also the flame maiden, which is one of my favorite looks. And though it's not quite queen shit, I do really love it.
Same. I would put it at the top. Like
Yeah, like
the
it's
colors,
oh,
iconic, and they all
I
look
just
so good walking together in them.
and I just kind of it's such like a simply draped outfit, but I feel like it's so effective and it's just like really cool. And I feel like like once ombre became a thing in like fast fashion, like fashion that I could attain as like a consumer, I was like, give me ombres in this. Give me handmaiden ombres so that I can just be a handmaiden whenever I want.
Yes, absolutely. I really like this outfit.
I am not a fan of this outfit. Why do you like this outfit?
I don't know. I think because it feels like very girly and like innocent and like youthful, and so it makes it. I think it plays into like not realizing. I mean, as a kid watching it, I think it played into not realizing that she was the queen, and it feels very Star Wars to me. That I felt like it fit with the like look of Tatooine and stuff, and I don't know. I also like her like fancy braids, and she does look kind of like angelic, but in a like a I'm not a fancy person way. I don't know. I really liked it for some reason.
I just am like, I feel like for me, this is like a vote of no confidence. I do not love this outfit. I think there are two reasons. One, I just like don't think it's a great outfit, but two, I think that like so she's trying to be like incognito, and I'm like, I just feel like some of the detail work on this. I'm like, you're screaming to anyone on Tatooine that like you're not doing your own hair, Daenerys Targaryen. Like someone else is doing this for you. And also it just felt like some of the detail and the coloring on that were like, I think the fabrics and some of the textures and the layering and the silhouette totally blends into Tatooine. It really did kind of feel like we took some of the like lower end queen shit and we like some queen pajamas and we put this together. And I'm like, it's okay. I think it's like for what they were trying to do, I get it, but I'm just like to me, I look at like there's just like the dyes and the details on this just feel like you're not gonna blend in, Padme.
Well, I mean, it's not like it was like planned that they were going to end up on Tatooine, right? So, like,
I mean, just like
why
they
would
could
she have
have
that stuff?
I mean, just like she could have been like, hey, Obi-Wan, can I borrow like a tunic? Like, hey,
Little tiny Natalie Portman just like swimming in this long tunic thing, and you know what? If anyone could do it, the handmaidens could do it.
right? I'm just saying, like they also
But
look,
also, he wasn't supposed to know.
but they did know like they were sending her incognito, like they were sending a handmaiden, like they could have been like, hey, there's also like later we see them with like blankets and like stuff. Like they could have sewn some blankets together, taken the like I demand a better job. But you know what? I'll allow it. I will allow this because it exists and I can't stop it. This outfit is just I just am not a fan. I'm just there's a
Yeah,
lot happening here.
this one is feels like one of the most blatant culturally appropriative ones. Like
Yeah.
it's just like so clearly supposed to be a kimono, and like I don't know about the like top part of the hairpiece thing, and the colors are all very like muted. I don't know.
I just feel like this is like the lowest for me. It's definitely This Is How Style Dies for like not only like the appropriative nature, but like even like when I was a kid, didn't really understand those things like quite yet. Like I didn't have the frame of references to like see all the things that were happening here. Even then, it felt weirdly like someone who'd seen a kimono once and
Yeah.
they were like, let's put it in space. And I just feel like there are so many components here. There's so many textures. I just don't feel like they're working together. Like I just feel like also the fact that like this circle on the chair frames her hair is just too much for me. Like it's
Yeah.
also like we know that Nabu shit is inspired by oh my god, Art Nouveau. Like we know so much is Art Nouveau,
Yes.
Art Deco-y, but this outfit just doesn't say Art Nouveau to me, except for maybe like the cool like draping of like the drapey stuff, I guess, but the rest of it just does not fit for me.
No.
I'm not a fan. Sorry. I think This Is How Style Dies.
Yeah, This Is How Style Dies.
Okay, this one is also a more blatantly appropriative outfit. This specific hairpiece and hairstyle, again, you can like look up. This is also supposed to be like a power moment, right? Like in the Senate. And I get that like you want to have really intense everything going on.
Yeah.
But it's again a moment that I'm like, if like we had like a very intentional casting for this, I would feel so differently. It's too on the nose. It's just too much for me. It's like too much in that appropriation circle.
Yeah, I agree. I have to make a funny side story here though with the hair thing, because my partner thought that the wigs were supposed to be her hair. Like he knew they were wigs, but he thought they were supposed to be in world her hair. To explain that, like, no, even in Star Wars, that's not her hair. It's a wig. It's a headpiece thing. Was just like mind blowing for him, and that's all I can think about now. Whenever I see her in one of her headpiece hair things, it's like, no, even in world, it's a wig. Even in world, it's not supposed to be her actual hair.
Yeah, 100%. I see people who make her various hair pieces all the time for like costume stuff. And like the amount of like supports and everything that are in there, it's wild. I'm just like, no, I don't. It's too much happening. I like could not. I could not. I think that was the one thing as like a tiny like wannabe costumer. Like before I had like sewing skills and like understanding of structure and everything. That was the one thing that was like always on my mind of like I could never do these because I don't have skills with that. And like I like
Same.
At first before I really understood hair pieces, like I could never have enough hair for that. And then I slowly like was like, no, wait, that's not her hair. Like when like it was just so abrupt. I was like, no, this is just wigs. Dang it. I don't know how to use that. Alas. I feel like they honestly could have chosen like so many different hairstyles that wouldn't have just been like blatantly like stealing from other cultures without giving credit. So I'm just gonna be like, nah, could have done better. Like honestly, like everything from here down to is indicative, but like this is just the hairpiece is the blatant part.
Yeah, so blatant.
Oh my god.
I'm not real fond of that one.
I love the detail work on the jacket. I love the detail works all over. Like she's got this beautiful applique, beautiful texture. It's rich. It looks warm, which I'm like, okay, yeah, like you're gonna go space. Like you want to stay cozy. Like this is the closest she gets to kind of like a snuggie, like a queen snuggie. But like I'm not a fan of the hair.
Yeah. And then just like all the dark hair and then all the black, it just seems like it's just all black and not in the same way of like the one that Sabe wears at the beginning. I don't know. It just feels just like lost in the black of the thing.
Despair for her country. I definitely feel like this is a vote of no confidence for me.
Yeah.
It's not like the worst, but it's like there's a redeeming quality with I think this was probably comfy, but like the whole look just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Vote of no confidence.
Okay.
This would be another vote of no confidence for me, I think.
I'm gonna put this in. I have an okay feeling about this. It is so trying to be like Renaissance-y to me. Like it's trying really hard to be like Middle Ages, like just like this really interesting like Middle Age Renaissance-y kind of mashup to me of like
I love that color purple. And I
yeah.
would love to have seen her have more outfits with that shade, but no.
No, honestly, I feel like looking at these, I'm just like, I love that they're so different, but I don't have to love them as just singular outfits.
Right.
And I also do think that like there's a little bit of just like this kind of discordance to me about the hair pieces, not exactly vibing with all the outfits, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have two outfits there.
Okay,
We
yeah.
have
So first the one Sabe is wearing, right?
Sabe, just again another like hairpiece that's like why is this culturally like appropriative, but like I do like how the queen outfit matches like much more closely matches like the handmade outfits in that one, because a lot of times we see them being just very different. So I dig that. So I'm gonna say like that's a "we are stylish, your highness" with an asterisk of like why do we take from other people's cultures?
Yeah. But then the handmaiden battle outfits,
Queen
those
shit.
queen shit. Yeah.
Queen shit. There was like a celebration years ago where like people made like handmaiden tracksuits together, like they because like velour was like in, so they made like they got that color velour and then like put little stripes on it, so they were all like wearing inspired outfits by that were
I
just
love it.
PJs, and I'm like, that's goals. I want that for my life.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay, and then we have this celebration piece outfit.
I think if we are stylish, or maybe almost queen shit. I don't know. I like this one.
I'm gonna say that like I feel a little bit more like it's queen shit because it's extra. Like
Yeah.
they tone down parts of it to let the other parts like be like in your face. And I feel like maybe this is like the styling eye that I have as someone who's not in that galaxy, right? So it's like maybe I'm bringing like my own Earth opinions to Naboo, but like a lot of the things I feel like I'm noticing, I just felt like certain parts overwhelmed it, and for that, I'm just like, I feel like this like felt really good and like. But I do get the motives from the book about like wanting everything to be distracting, so I'm so torn. But I think it's queen shit because like for me, looking at the details on that and like all of like the movement, I really dig that. Like all the movement on the skirt is just, oh, it's so good.
And I feel like it fits with the storyline too. If we're not just thinking about the clothing as how they look, like it fits with the ending celebration, and now we know who she is, and so she's like a little more like less with this like guard up and whatever. And I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. This is gonna be another two for content warning for death. I guess I need to put it in here. So we have the queen outfit in that. I'm just very like, this is how style dies. It's really weird.
Yeah.
We only see it for 2 seconds, but then we see the Naboo pilot outfit, which I actually think is like stylish. I put that in the stylish category.
I'm not that fond of her like purple senator outfit thing. It's not a favorite for me. Because like, isn't that hat also like appropriative?
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot like people have talked about like that headpiece being appropriative, and again it's just like why is the hair like such a thing that y'all couldn't like get consistency on and like kind of get it together on? But like
yeah,
the hairpiece, I know some people don't even like, some costumes don't even feel comfortable doing that because of the hairpiece, and I'm just like, this is a really cool outfit, and like you did simplify a lot of her face look, which I'm totally behind. So I'm gonna say the headpiece is in this is how style dies, but I feel like the dress itself,
the dress itself is pretty decent.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like okay, and we are stylish, like it's in there for me because I'm like, it's got beautiful fabric and beautiful styling for the dress, but why?
Yeah.
And then the next one is her nightgown that she wears when she's being almost assassinated.
It's just like a white nightgown, right? Like
Yeah, but it's very chemise like,
yeah.
and I think that was really interesting for me. So I'm just like, I'm gonna say that's stylish. Like I think it's nice that like Star Wars, that's like they wouldn't let Carrie Fisher have a bra, but like they let this girl have like a really comfy nightgown. So you know,
And better than what she wears in later movies for sleeping that don't look
oh
comfortable.
my god, we're gonna get to those. The packing outfit.
Okay, they're like this one is like in the middle for me because there's parts of it that I love and parts of it that I'm like, just it's just a little bit off the mark. Like I really like the idea of the space buns, but not those ones. They're just like a little too. They don't work with the outfit. I don't know. And then the other thing is like, if this is supposed to be what she wears to like pack and go travel, like, and she's supposed to be like on the down low.
I mean, like we do see her wear something more toned down, I think, for the actual traveling. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I feel like there's one too many things in some of her outfits that I'm like, this
Yeah.
by itself, I really dig. So I really dug seeing space buns, right? Because I'm like, yes, this
Hmm.
is iconic. We know like her daughter is going to be rocking these. The way that they are is very weird. And again, like some people have pointed out that like the space buns themselves not only are a thing that we have seen on Latinas in like actual like archival photos and that were signs of certain rebellion. We also know that like some indigenous cultures also did that. So I want to point that out there, but also just like at its core, the space buns in Star Wars looked kind of different. I feel like too, because we get her picnic thing, I prefer that homage
The
than
picnic is
this.
the perfect homage. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah,
there. I dig her dress on this. I dig the dress. I dig
yeah.
this like again, this like
The arm cuffy
Tudor.
things.
Yeah, the like Tudor meets like a couple of like things mixed in. Okay. I think it's stylish, but it's not quite queen shit, maybe.
Yeah. Hmm.
So this is her actual traveling outfit. It's fine. Like I think it works for what they're trying to do. I believe this she's trying to like blend in more than like her Tatooine one, I feel like.
I don't know. It's just. I mean, I guess we don't really get a chance to see that much of how like everyday Naboobians. What is the person of Naboo? How they dress, aside from I guess when we see her family in like the deleted scenes. So I guess it would like blend in. To me, it still seems pretty like look at me.
I mean, I feel like the look at me part specifically is like that lace piece on her
Yeah.
head. And I'm like, I feel like the rest of it, it's like so much simpler in terms of like embroidery and like it's not as opulent. So I'm like, okay, like I will just pretend to believe that like these are things like people would wear. Like I feel like the dye, the coloration also to me is like much more similar to like the kind of colors that we see in like non-queen people. But that lace headpiece, I'm like, if you just made it like a basic like veil, I feel like I could have believed it more.
Yeah. Or if she had some sort of cute hood, like that would have made perfect sense for traveling and it would have looked really cute. Uh like that hood she has in the third movie or whatever, something like that.
So this is, I guess, gonna be an okay feeling about this for me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
I think it does what it does. I still have like, I don't quite believe that y'all did enough research on what you think like regular people wear, but like I will allow it. I guess this is technically different because you see the hood thing. They sell that at Galaxy's Edge, and I've been eyeing it.
That piece is really cool.
I think it's really interesting and cool. I don't know if like regular like normies would wear a metal headpiece, but like okay. this
Queen
is
shit.
this is queen shit. The lake
Yeah.
dress is queen shit. The lake dress is goals. The lake dress is everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the costume that like the costume designer for Star Wars was told like George wants a CGI dress for
Yeah.
this, and she was just like, no.
I'm
We're
so
gonna
glad
do
they
this.
didn't. It would have been so bad.
Like it would have been aged immediately, and I'm just like, thank you, Trisha Bigger, for like demanding to not allow that to happen because this
Yeah.
is probably my favorite dress. Like I am
Yeah.
torn between this and the picnic dress.
Same.
This is, I think, just slightly edges it out because of how beautiful and graceful it is and how simple it is. It just relies so much on draping and a dye job, and I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's in my top. It's my top two are the same as yours.
It's just so good. It moves, and it like looks so good in the pearl detailing. It's a different Padme, and I think it definitely fits like this idea of like we're in a different place for her and everything. It's so good. Love it.
So good.
Okay.
This is my absolute number one. Absolute. The picnic dress is perfection. How does it manage to be like perfectly like Art Nouveau, Muha, but also Star Wars? The buns just like perfect it. The details, the embroidery, the color, it's perfection.
It is perfection. I love it. It's so Renaissance-y. It's so just like it's perfect. Like you're saying, like this Art Nouveau meets Renaissance meets like it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love the embroidery. I love all the things about it. I love the like knot in the hair to like that to me is like the better like double bun nod to Leia, and like her hair is just like this beautiful, just like these curls that are so reminiscent of these eras, and it fits. It works. It all works. It does feel romantic in this very romantic time for her, and I'm like, perfect. Yes, love this.
I do not like this one.
So the fireside dress, according to like lore, right? Like George Lucas picked out, like he wanted this outfit for her. And I'm just like, this feels really weird. I don't like this like weird seductive thing. I don't like it. Doesn't match any of her other shit. But I do think that like alone, outside of the context of this is a beautiful outfit. I will say, outside of the context of the movie, which is really hard. I think it's stylish.
And I like the headpiece, the silver circlet or whatever. Like I like that, but it doesn't fit. And she's still like, it just doesn't work for me at all in the context.
In context, it does work for me. Outside, I'm like, it's stylish. I think that like the kind of bird feather shawl doesn't make it quite queen shit for me, because it's just like, okay, like what are we're not gonna eat food in that. No, we would put that on when we're not eating food, but like, is that to catch like the fruit? Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's stylish to me. I think it's like, it's beautiful work. I don't love this scene. I don't love how I think this is being used as this kind of temptation, seduction.
It's gonna be an okay feel. I've got an okay feeling about this.
That's fair. Okay, her nightgown here. The last time we see her in comfy nightwear, I think, ever. I love it. And
I love it.
That's smocked. I think that's smocked like velvet shrug thing is like Art Deco as fuck, and it's queen shit. Like it's queen shit to me.
Queen shit, and it perfectly fits with the vibe of everything else. Like it just feels very Naboo, and it feels romantic, and it feels we see her being more like comfortable in her home land. You know, I don't know. Like it's perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so this combo. We have, and now like that hoodie that we see her in, like the actual like cape thing, is at Galaxy's Edge at the Star Cruiser, the Halcyon. They sell that now.
Oh wow.
It's very spendy, but they sell that. So I think that's cool that we now get this thing that's like you'd have to pay a lot of money to get it fabricated. I'm not a fan of that hood though. I feel like it's just one too many things.
I don't like the hood, but I do like the outfit without the hood. It feels very Star Wars.
It's okay for me. It's just okay. And then the outfit without it, I agree. To me, it's stylish. It's not quite queen shit, but like it's stylish.
Yeah.
I think that like as a whole, if we have both of them together, I'd be like no confidence, but like separately I will judge them and be like they fit different places.
Yeah, I feel like the outfit doesn't make a ton of sense in the scene that she would wear that, but I do like it.
This is the hard part. This is like the hard part of it. It's like how much context do I bring to this? How much
Right?
like it's hard. I have been contradictory in how I've been judging, but this is fine because it's my
We make up the
channel
rules.
and I do what I want. Okay, so the like blue thing that she wears when she's comforting Anakin, her Tatooine stuff always feels like it's a slightly fancier version of the silhouettes that people on Tatooine are wearing.
Mhm.
Like it's better fabric, it's more detailed. Like what she's wearing feels like very like it's in line with some of the silhouettes I feel like we see Baru in, where it's this more of like flowing again art deco, but it's just so detailed and I'm like, okay, do you really want to tromp around the sand in this like hand beaded thing? I mean,
No.
I think like for me that blue thing is very okay. I feel like
Yeah, it's middle of the road for me. Oh my gosh.
the white outfit that she has on for the battle Geonosis.
Yeah. Uh, this is
This is how
before.
style dies. This is how style dies.
Yeah, I was gonna say vote of no confidence before it like gets all ripped strategically, and then style dies.
Yeah. I think it is like ridiculous that she would wear that on like a mission. She has no bra. Hell
Mm-mm.
no.
You never see her wear anything like that before, and she goes on missions and stuff and other shit. Like, no,
No. 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 You're not gonna wear all white when you're gonna go like
no.
stealthing in somewhere. A of all. B of all, like why don't we have her in a bra? Like I'm annoyed. And then also again, like you're saying, when it gets all messed up, I'm just like, why?
And the arm cuffs in this situation don't make sense. Like I like them on the packing dress, but not on this. Don't. Now I do like the shawl, the scarfy shawly gapey thing,
Mhm.
but it doesn't make sense to me in this scenario. But it could have
Yeah.
been good in a different way.
I dig the shawl scarf thing, and we see it nodded to a bunch in the sequel trilogy, and I dig it. Like Kylo, a lot of people make that reference to Kylo Ren's own thing that's like very similar texture and draping.
And I like the idea of her all in white. It was like a nod to Leia, but like not in this way.
Not in this way. Honestly, seeing that as a teenager, I was just like, oh, so like we're just making her like more obviously a sex symbol, like a more
Yeah.
obviously an object for the male gaze. Like that's what that felt like compared to the other outfits, which felt like a very intentional, like we're looking upon her. And like, so that and the black outfit feel like male gaze.
Oh, definitely.
And then the rest feel like there's some at least thought put in there about what she's looking like, what her intentions are as a person. But those two, I'm just like, in context, I don't understand this. I don't understand why she'd wear it. I do, again, EK Johnston does a ton to try to be like, these are, like leading up and giving
Right.
you info on like why these might be justified. And I feel like EK Johnston deserves all the awards for making it like
All the awards.
logical, but I'm still like, as a viewer, meh. The wedding dress. The wedding dress.
It's okay for me. I guess maybe it's where stylish. I mean, compared to like when you think about her in like the lake dress and then here's her wedding dress, but at the same time, it's not a super joyful wedding, and so it kind of fits the vibe, but also I don't like it that much.
So in EK Johnston's Queen's Hope, we start out on the day, I think it's actually maybe even the day right before the wedding. And so
Oh my god, I'm so excited to read it.
We have Padmé talking about this, and like slight spoilers is that there are going to be some little tidbits about the wedding dress and how it came to be, why it is the way it is, from Queen's Hope, which I loved. I love that that happens. That we get some explanation of things, right? The tidbits about this dress are really interesting to me because they took an antique bed sheet and used the lace off of that they took the lace off of that to make and then put it on the dress and put it on like a new like tulle kind of background, and they made some of their own. And I've actually been trying to pattern the lace because I can do lace now, and like I'm probably going to eventually make lace for this dress. I could not wear this dress. I don't feel like I would feel comfortable or happy with how I look in this dress. but I'm gonna say this is queen shit just because I think Natalie Portman pulls off this dress in a way that I don't know many other people who could.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
This dress looks not of this universe at all.
No.
And I feel like the way it's 2 seconds, but I feel like they did just enough weird for it to work. And I'm gonna say for me, it's so out of universe, but it's queen shit to me. It's queen shit.
All right.
Also, the other trivia I have about this is that like only one side of this dress is like rhinestone, because George Lucas told them like the day before, I want rhinestones on this or something. And Trisha Bigger was like, we don't have time. You pick the side you want to film her on and we'll do that side. Because George Lucas doesn't understand how costumes work.
He truly has no understanding of costumes or women's clothing or women's bodies at all.
Not one bit. Okay, we have some animated stuff. So
this is fashion dies.
Fashion dies. Fashion is dead here. There's nothing else to say. This is an animated version of the Geonosis thing. Fashion dies. She does not need to have pointy titties. I do like seeing this hood because that's actually like was part of that shawl, and there are like some BTS things of this. Once again, like a thing that a costume we just don't see on screen, but like not a fan.
No, and for me, I have not watched all of Clone Wars and I have enjoyed some of it, but the way they animate Padmé, and they animate everyone, but especially Padmé, just like I super don't like it, and it makes her outfits even worse.
I don't like it. I feel like they make her really weirdly skinny, stick-like in a way that's really uncomfortable to watch for me.
Yeah.
So this outfit is going to be one that we actually see her wear for a lot of missions, and we actually get in other books, not just EK Johnston books, we get this kind of mention of this outfit. So it's more of a jumpsuit. It looks way more like the Battle Handmaiden thing to me. Like it looks like the Battle Handmaiden meets that Geonosis outfit, but like with more logic for like daily wear. And I'm gonna say like that's stylish to me. Like it is.
Yeah, totally. That's stylish. It feels very Star Wars, like it's similar to what you see General Leia wear. You know?
Yes, I love it. I'm a fan. Some people think that like the jumpsuit's leather, and I'm like, no. A purple shawl instead.
I think I actually prefer it with the white.
Right? It's a little too much. I'm gonna say vote of no confidence in this outfit. Yeah. Also, because like they put padding things in here that I don't.
No.
This outfit
voted no confidence.
No confidence. Not one bit.
Oh my god.
This looks like it reminds me of like early space kind of like adventure stories.
Yeah, or it also makes me think of like Totally Spies or like early 2000s. It doesn't feel Star Wars at all.
It doesn't. I'm gonna say that it's disqualified. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, so it's disqualified.
I also don't like this one.
I don't like this. I don't know. I don't like this. I feel like
it could have been better if they didn't animate her that way. Like I just feel like it's just her little boobs. Why?
I think it's rude. I think this outfit's rude to her legacy. This is how style dies. Like I don't.
That whole episode, that whole storyline, I like EK Johnston tries to like save it. Bless EK Johnston.
Bless. Do we have any candles for her? Because she needs like all of them. This outfit's actually fine to me. Like it's okay.
I guess it kind of goes with like what she wears when she's pregnant. But the hair does not feel Padmé to me.
No.
Like it would be easy to not know that was Padmé.
Yeah, she just has a chill look. This is interesting. Again, I think that like I don't like the way she's animated. Like she looks like a weird like Tim Burton character at times in the way that they animated her. And I don't love it.
Yeah, I actually think that dress is actually kind of fits with like stuff we see her in Attack of the Clones, but the way she's animated just ruins it.
Yeah, I will say I do agree that like I think it's Renaissance-y, so I'll say that like it's okay. Like if
Yeah.
that's just like one of her chill around the place, like it's okay. I get it. You got to wear something. Maybe it's even like an underdress to a bigger thing. So that's okay. This is cool to me. Like we don't have a great look at it. Like it's kind of like again that interesting hairstyle we're seeing with her that doesn't quite scream the Padmé we've seen. But I do think that like doing this kind of interesting body on the bottom versus the appropriative things we saw them doing in episode 1,
That's a good point.
I do prefer. I'm gonna say like this is stylish to me. Like it's the red. It's kind of harkening back to something we've. It has a lot of details that like remind me of episode 1, but like remove the appropriative nature.
That's a good point.
Just it looks like a green version of the thing we just saw.
This looks like what Fiona wears in Shrek.
Oh my god, you're right. This is her Fiona outfit. I'm gonna say this is like okay. Like it just feels like it's missing. It feels like it's missing something.
Yeah.
Just
I think like it could have been really pulled together with like if she had like a little band on her forehead and like maybe some ribbons or something.
Yeah, not just like a weird like little tiara where her scalp ends. Like
yeah.
Lol, 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 lol. I'm disqualifying this one again. It doesn't count.
Yeah,
We don't. This isn't. This is not Pat. No. What is this? This is interesting because this has some nods to like her headpiece feels very Bo-Katan-y. So other characters that we meet in Clone Wars. It's fine. I think it's stylish. Yeah. I don't think it's the best or the worst of her outfits.
It's an okay one for me.
This is like so I'm gonna match up the things in my closet because I ran out of things to wear.
Yes.
It's the hair from the packing gown meets some of the elements of the like fireplace gown.
Yeah. To me, it just feels like all of her costumes during Clone Wars are not done by someone who understands costuming, which makes sense. They're probably just done by an animator. No offense to animators.
No offense. But we just are not fans.
It's not cohesive.
I feel like I do like this hair better with this thing than with her packing outfit, though.
Yeah.
I will say, I think this hair kind of it seems just enough for this, but it felt too much for the packing outfit.
You know what though? I will give the animators one little bit of credit, which is that they did like give her new outfits because like they could have just put her in only outfits we've seen her in before, or they could have just put her in 2 outfits the whole time in like typical animated style. And they were like, no, we have to give Padmé a million outfits. And I respect that choice. They didn't make the right choices about what the outfits would look like, but at least they knew she would have to have a million outfits.
It's true. I'll give them that. This is okay for me. I feel like there are improvements, but it's not amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, the first outfit we see her in episode 3, where she's hiding behind a column.
Yeah. Once again, the buns are just not the right shape for me.
No.
And it's like distracting.
I have this gripe with episode 3, which is, are we actually trying to hide that she's pregnant or not?
Yeah.
Because when she goes from wearing these like tightly corseted things to suddenly just wearing billowy things, people are gonna be like, are you pregnant? Like that's just like a thing. That's just a thing that it's like people who have babies typically do, and it's fine. And like what's also weird to me is like even in like the books in EK Johnston's books, like the sister like has a kid and like isn't married, and it's fine, it's no big deal. And I'm just like, it's just a thing in this galaxy that like doesn't seem like there's this negativity around a single, like a mother, a woman, especially a woman in power, wanting to have a child and like not being married, not having a partner to raise it with. And if that's a thing, I'm too inside my head about this, but I'm just like, I don't think it was necessary for her to hide her pregnancy that way.
Yeah.
But also, like, remembering that scene, like, isn't that where she's like, Anakin, I'm pregnant? And like, isn't that the scene she tells him? Like,
Yeah, that's the scene she tells him. It's not, yeah. I feel like that whole movie, everything is just kind of like,
okay,
at
so
best, meh.
I'm hung up on how there's no logic to her suddenly telling Anakin she's pregnant and how none of this makes sense. I'm just gonna say I hate the outfit.
Yeah,
This is how
let's do
style
it.
dies. I cannot get so hung up with it, but I am. I'm so hung up on how like that doesn't make any sense. This nightgown. Can we talk about the crime that occurs during this scene? Which is,
Yes, we have to. You know I was gonna bring it up. You knew I was gonna bring it up.
we have to talk about the crime that is committed in this scene.
She brushes her dry, curly hair. No curly haired person does that unless they don't know better. That you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. And if you we're trying to like relax, that is the absolute last thing you would do. Last thing you would do.
Understand who like allowed this to happen. There's just so many things going on in this. Like, yes, it's really cute that we can see her wearing the necklace that like Anakin carved for her when he was a fucking child.
Weird.
Brushing her curly hair makes no sense. Wearing this uncomfortable looking, like specifically, it is the top part. Like,
it makes
again,
no sense for sleeping.
The like kind of allowing for her to have this just like flowy dress while she's preggers makes sense. Like, let her be comfortable. Let her be okay.
Yeah.
The top part with the beading and the like, why?
Also, this is the first and maybe only thing she wears that looks like cheap, and it looks like you could just find it at Ross. And everything else she wears is like so
like even her simple like chemise or slip like thing that she wears as PJs in episode 2. Like, she has these beautiful like things that she wears over it, or there's detailing on it, there's smocking, there's something on it that it's like it's elevated. And I agree, I feel like the fabric and even the added pearl stuff just screams like, yeah, like I can find this at Ross. Like, it feels cheap. And it's not like a we're in war, I'm conserving resources.
No.
Like, no, bitch, you are not.
No.
It's like a bummer for me. I definitely, I think that's the thing that's interesting, because I feel like as a teen, I was like, I guess that could be cute, because it's like that looked like dresses that were just in the world at the time that this movie came out. And I was just like, oh, she's wearing like kind of attainable dress. But like as an adult, I'm just like, who hurt her?
Yeah. Vote of no confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna say vote of no confidence for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
This is how style dies. Style dies.
This is how style dies.
Even animated, this is bad. I just
like they finally kind of put some buns in the right place, but it's all wrong.
Like,
just no.
They clearly moved away from like the Amidala. We have massive hair pieces, and now we have pieces that go into your hair, but they're not successful to me.
Not successful.
There's a ton of amazing, expensive fabrics and treatments that go into those dresses, and you just don't see them. And then you give her these really weird hairstyles. And just episode 3, I feel like episode 2 was like her strongest, and then 3 they went to like, we don't know how to film her. This outfit that we see like 2 seconds of, it was stylish.
I like how they had her hair, like her hair was sort of done the way it was in her like nightgown in the Lake District, and I liked that part.
I think it's style. To me, it's like, it's stylish. It's like, we don't see much of it, but I liked it. Like, it felt like to me, like, instead of her just wearing these like massive things that were just like A-line and like trying to bury her in fabric, because it just felt like they were trying to bury the actors in fabric. And I'm like, space maternity wear probably is a little bit nuanced, and like it just felt a little bit better to me. It felt like maybe a woman actually dressed her, like someone or someone who's had children actually dressed her with like, we don't like, let's make you feel also confident. Like let's make you
Yeah.
feel not like you're buried under so much fabric. We have this outfit that is her other PJs when she's crying when she realizes things have gone to shit.
That one's okay for me because
If
it
it
looks,
wasn't a nightgown,
yeah,
I'm like, it's okay if I take it out of the context of it being a nightgown.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
has too much going on for it to actually be something that would be like, I can see you sleeping this. I like that like they let her just have her hair down sometimes in this, but it's also just
Yes.
like, at what cost? Like it's just weird. Some of her nightgowns on this are just weird.
They're just weird.
The Liberty Dies outfit. I think it's queen shit for me.
I think
Like,
queen shit. The little thing,
mhm.
the headpiece thing. I like that.
It looks very like angelic. And again, you have Art Nouveau. I like it. I think it's
I
queen
like it.
shit. Like I think it's one of the few queen shits she gets in Ep3.
Agree.
It was a good balance.
So wait, did we miss the one with her hood from Revenge of the Sith?
Yes, her hooded, like her green velvet hood where she's like, I think that's the one where she's like watching shit burn.
Yeah, I love the green hood, and it has like a purple belt, I think, in the with the outfit. Her hair looks really good. So
This
I
is,
think this one's queen shit.
yeah, queen shit.
And I wish we got a better look at it like in the movie. But I really like how the sleeves are like all like dangly, and that hood just drapes beautifully.
I love the purple belt. It's just nice. It's just a nice, but again, and so I guess like this is like, at least it gives her a slight like waistline. It gives her some structure. But again, I'm just really annoyed that like her costumes are just majority. Let's just put her in something that's super big.
So I really like her hair in that one,
Mm-hmm.
but the actual thing itself is very meh. But also, like, she has so many outfits in this that I feel like I'd give it a okay. But if it was in one of the other movies, I'd give it like no confidence.
I know, right? Like I think that like for this one it's okay because like once again we get really, I think I prefer the some of the head pieces and the way they style her hair in
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And they find like a good balance of like, if there's a ton of detail work in the thing she's wearing, we don't have to put a ton of detail work in the hair. But because of that, I'm also just like, we barely see the dress really, but there's a ton going on. But again, it just feels like they're trying to like cover her in fabric, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
weird for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, I feel like you're not doing a great job of really hiding her pregnancy, but bringing attention to like how she's suddenly like, I
Yeah.
have no shape.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is. Okay, this outfit, which is like her running to Anakin on Mustafar outfit.
I'm not a big fan. It's probably a no confidence, but
Yeah,
it's grown on me a little
yeah.
over time.
When I
But
first watched it, I would say that like as a teen, I was like, this is how style dies.
same.
I feel like as an adult, I'm like, it's like borderline okay, no confidence for me. I definitely think like it's cool that it seems like the Naboo pilots might have a maternity outfit. So like that's cool. Like if that's where this is going. Um it was just such an abruptness to me because it was just like, so we were hiding her pregnancy with like all of this fabric, and suddenly
Mm-hmm.
like she's running around in leggings and like an A-line top with like a harness.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't really match what we've seen her wear before at all either.
And like to me, I'm like, okay, I think if it's just like headcanon, she just grabs a Naboo like star pilot, like just like a pilot's outfit real fast before she leaves. It's fine for me, like it's okay. I think just like for design for Padme, I'm just like no confidence. Like
No confidence.
there's no pockets on that thing. Like the handmaidens would not have let her go out like that. She went rogue. Her like hospital gown's a hospital gown, whatever.
Yeah.
Her
Queen
death,
shit.
her death shroud is queen shit.
Yeah.
It's queen shit. Like
absolutely.
One of the best things they put her in.
Everything about it is perfect.
It's the hair, it's the fabric, it's all the added detail work. Queen shit.
Yep.
This I actually really love the deleted scene outfits. I feel like her family trip. I love that outfit. I love it, like the textures on that thing. It reminds me too of like the kind of, it's similar to the blue thing we see her wear to Tatooine. So like maybe that's her like hanging out with parents outfit. I don't know. Let me show my midriffs. It's weird. The midriff bearing is very of its time, and I'm like,
very
whatever.
Of its time.
But I do like the textures. I like that, like there's just like nice blue. I like that her hair isn't like so much. It's just like a little pulled back and like gets to exist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say stylish. It's stylish, Your Highness.
I'm gonna say stylish for that one too.
This other one where she's addressing the Senate, which I think we see in the animated a little bit too. It's okay. I think it's fine.
I've got an okay feeling about it or whatever. This next one is Style Dies.
Style Dies. Style's dead. I don't know if these are quite dreadlocks, but whatever they are, they're bad.
It's bad.
I have icky feelings about the appropriative nature of this.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was
no
deleted.
Business wearing that.
I'm glad it was a deleted scene. I think it was on the posters though. Like I'm pretty sure this was like, I'm pretty sure like for the posters, this is one of the looks that was on the poster.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's bad. I don't like it. It's bad. And then I want to actually show you, let's write one more. The Snow Bunny Padme outfit from the first animated Clone Wars. This snow, they called it like the Snow Bunny Padme outfit, which is like the Geonosis thing, but for snow.
I actually like it.
I actually liked it. I actually was just like, oh, like if we pretend that that's like a padded kind of ski suit, which we know it's not, but like we add fur to it. I actually really dig it. I think it's super stylish. I think it's super cute.
The way she's animated is so much better than Clone Wars, and I think that definitely factors in. If it was like her like angularness, then I don't think I'd like it if that was the same outfit in Clone Wars.
That's all.
So that was a total of 60 outfits.
61.
Wow. I was curious, like, what is your dream Padme cosplay that you still want to make?
It's always hard because it's like, is it just a thing to have or a thing to wear? I feel like a thing, like the dream cosplay is like the picnic dress. Like I really want the picnic dress. The lake dress is beautiful, but like her universe did come out with like the wearable version of that I'm like content with. Like that was the dress that like I wore when we did our Galaxy's Edge preview that Frank proposed to me at. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like this is the dress. Like this is fine. And like honestly too, like having worn that, like I wore that one time to like the duck pond, and like I got like the train all like in water and everything. Like if I like could wear anything, I feel like the picnic dress like doesn't need like someone to be like walking behind me helping me all the time.
Yeah, you don't have to like tape yourself to make sure you don't like expose yourself or anything.
And the hair seems doable. Like if of the costumes, I'd be like, I would like go hard on like you trying to get like a quote screen accurate look. That's the one, because the hair seems simple. She's wearing flats. Like it seems wearable.
Yeah.
And it's also pretty.
Super pretty.
I kind of have been longing to do a gothic version of that. Like just make it like black with like red and silver details.
Ooh, that would be really pretty. I also feel like that dress, that whole outfit would also look really pretty in like an emerald color too.
When I was a kid, I dreamed of it in like a purple blue. Like I would like sketch it and be like, wouldn't it look cool because it would kind of be reminiscent of her like funeral gown of like the sequining and everything, like a little bit like night sky looking. How about you? What would be your thing that you would your white whale?
I still want to just like update the picnic outfit that I made and make it like flowier and probably like actually embroider flowers on it now that I know how to embroider. But the other thing I want to do is I want to make like a like cottage corey silky sort of like version of it that I could like wear out and about. And I've just had the hardest time trying to come up with exactly what a casual version of that would be. And for that, I think that's what I would want. I'm just really obsessed with that dress because like there's so many other costumes of hers that I like, but I don't actually really want to wear it myself.
Right? Right? That's honestly the thing where I'm just like, I really dig that her universe made like a kind of wearable lake dress, and I want them to do more quote wearable versions of her costumes. And I'm like, I will pay that slightly higher price because I really dig like you're wearing one of the Leia things that I really love. Like it's a wearable version.
It's super comfy.
It's so comfy and it's cute and it's effective. And like there's a nice kind of like daily wear holdo that I don't have, but like it looks comfy. It looks
I
just
have
like,
that one. It's very comfy.
it just looks comfy. And I'm like, I would love if her universe did a picnic. Especially, I'm so hoping, especially now that like the kind of cottagecore selkie dresses are popular. I'm
Right?
so hoping that her universe does the picnic dress as a kind of selkie, like fast fashion off the rack thing.
I think it would be super cute.
I
Like you
would
could
buy
just
that
have little
so
off the
fast.
shoulder something instead of the like thing. I
I would
haven't
buy that
been able to
immediately.
pin it down myself, but I want to do it or I want to buy it. I want it.
Someone's got to make this because I'm not gonna make this, but like someone's got to make this because it needs to be done. It's such a good thing to make. How do you feel about this?
I feel good. I feel like we're pretty much on the same page for most of it.
I feel like two of my opinions from when I first saw it to now are more nuanced. I feel like I've changed a lot of like from like either understanding costume history, fashion history, looking at like indigenous and like other cultures that like this was clearly influenced by, they didn't like give credit to, or they just blatantly appropriated it. I feel like I have a lot of feels about it, but I don't feel like I appreciate folks like EK Johnston and folks who are like, how do we make this better? How do we like, because like Padmé clearly was a character that like struck a chord with a lot of us, much like Leia was a character that struck a chord with a lot of us. And I like when folks can like, especially for Padmé, where we have so many things that just don't make sense for this empowered woman. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that we get logic to her life, her dress. And I think that's really important because fashion is her weapon.
I completely agree. My thoughts on her costumes have totally evolved over time as I've gotten older and I've learned more about stuff and also w- getting more of her from EK Johnston's books. I love what she's done with the book so much, and because I feel like Attack of the Clones is kind of when my like obsession with Star Wars kind of took a pause after that. Like I just didn't really feel like it was for me for so long until the Force Awakens, and then when I read Queen's Shadow, it was just like, oh my gosh, it was like at the teen what teen me always wanted, and I just love that so much.
100%. I feel like for me, it's like the prequels got shit on so much, and I love people who can be like, actually, like that was a time that like a lot of people were getting into Star Wars for the first time and like feeling like there are some things that I think were not done amazingly, but I think, you know, folks like EK Johnston who are like, let me take this to a different place. Like the folks who, you know, like Claudia Gray has done a ton of you know, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan things, and we're gonna have a new Obi-Wan not only series but like book soon. And I really like that. Like I want folks to explore those parts that like did bring us joy, that were like these things that, you know what, we can write in between the cracks of canon to make it, because I feel like that's what EK Johnston does, where it's like we're stuck with these two moments that don't mesh. How can we bridge that? And I feel like EK Johnston just beautifully does it, and it pleases me. And I love that she includes so much fashion in her books because it was so critical to the story. And I feel like that is the 100% main difference that I see between a lot of like, I hate to say it, but like the male authors versus the female authors for Star Wars, where I'm like, y'all are paying attention to the fashion because it was really important to you, and you put a lot of info and detail in that, and that to me makes a richer world, because part of Star Wars is that it is a medium that is visual, and a lot of the storytelling happens through costuming, and I love that a lot of the storytelling on page also can happen through costuming.
I agree 100%. And Claudia Gray does a good job of that in the Princess Leia book too. And how she has the droid that does her hair for her and things like that is like, it's so great. Like I love those things so much.
I do too. And I also think that like there's a lot to be said for, I think clothing and fashion can become this like, oh, it like goes into the stupid like it's like a women's thing, so therefore it's less than, much like romance deals with, much that, you know, like a lot of genres, a lot of things that like typically fall into a category that like majority women like. And I really, really love folks who are like, we can just also enjoy this and it's fine. We're in Star Wars. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone, it does seem like sometimes people are like, let's use Padmé's fashion, belittle her, but EK Johnston does a lot of work to be like, that was your mistake because these bitches are gonna like come for you.
Definitely.
Okay, we did it. We rated all the costumes. Thank you for joining me on this adventure and looking back into all the amazing and sometimes not amazing costumes of Miss Padmé Amidala. Padmé
Heck
not
yeah. I'm always down to talk about Padmé's costumes.
Can you tell people where to find you on the internets?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Really Frizzle, and I yell a lot about like books and also costuming. I do a little bit of cosplay. I have done the picnic dress at very like low budget, low skill level, but I'm proud of it.
Be
For
proud
me,
of it.
I'm not
It's
like
cute.
a technical cosplayer, and I'm like, if you can recognize it and it looks good, then that's a win to me.
It's a
That's
win.
all I care about.
I think it's adorable. I love your cosplays, and I definitely am all for budget cosplay because especially Padme's outfits are expensive.
Yeah, even doing it on a budget and like doing it, it still cost a decent amount. Cosplayers are amazing. I don't know how they do it on the grand scale when they're like, I'm going to hand embroider a little butterfly sequin onto the whole, like you can't even tell the little butterfly sequence on the skirt. People are amazing. Not
They are.
I do not care enough, but
I don't have the time for it. You know, I'm just like, I don't have time for like those minimal, those very tiny details. But, like, kudos to people who do.
yeah, same.
Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, please go follow Megan and appreciate the brilliance that she is.
Aw. Well,
And
thanks. I'm honored to be on with you and you, brilliant you.
I'm not brilliant. But yeah, I hope that we can also maybe talk about Queen's Hope one day, because I think
Yes, I pre-ordered it, so I should get it like right around when it comes out.
which should be like in the next 2 weeks from right now, but whatever. We're going to be in the future. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, patrons. And let me know your favorite Padmé costumes in the comments.